Piece was called Practice of Release, and I did a first iteration of that piece back in last year, I think. And it was just a water ball and a table, and the idea was that you would wash your hands and kind of practice releasing what you put up outside when you're expected to behave certain ways or act certain ways, and just letting go of that. I incorporated washing hands because that's sort of like the first thing you do when you come back home, especially in Asian cultures. And I mentioned this culture because the last time I showed or shared that, there were a couple of people who were confused about like washing hands and then how that relates to releasing something when you come back home. The reason it changes the colors is the feelings that you have when you're releasing something changes when you come back home. And the feedbacks and the discussions I had in the Kinetic Imaging department has helped me think more critically about what it means to have an interactivity in my work. For example, when someone doesn't want to engage with it, or when someone does engage with it, what does that mean?
Project, I'm very interested in transition. Death, I feel, is a transition for us as humans, but also like where we are as a species and where, the damaged planet is. So that's what I wanted to incorporate in this project, and I wanted to kind of keep people a practice. I had some instructions on this little area. It was kind of like how the senses start responding to us when we do go into that transition of death. I wanted people to be aware of that, and also to kind of see themselves in this, but not literally, but more as like energetic being. Richmond is very rich in terms of history, so I included some of that footage in a kind of warp 360 colorful way. I don't think I'd be able to do this project if I wasn't in the program. There was a lot of resources available to us as students. There's an amazing checkout equipment area where I got the microphone, the webcam, the projects, basically everything I used. Basically everything was available. What was also really helpful was that in our studio class practice, we were able to work on this. We were able to talk through it before and also afterwards. So it was a really good learning moment. It was pretty early in the semester for first year. So, but it was a steep learning curve, but a really good learning curve.
Yeah, so my piece is titled Listen to Me, parentheses, Dirty Laundry. And it was my first time ever doing like a sculptural sound piece. I used like a little pink, MP3 player I got on Amazon, and these pink headphones that I put stickers on, and I sewed a pair of overalls into this like tablecloth I got from like the thrift store, and I put them on these dowels and hung it from the ceiling. And I've never done anything like that before, but the sound piece is more like an EP, like an album. Like I made like 10 tracks, and each one is like talking about like the coming out process, and some experiences I've had with voice changing on hormones, HRT. So it's been fun to document my voice kind of as this like private practice, and have this like sound piece moment where I can kind of see my voice change in real time. It's kind of been cool to have this like really amazing community of artists and thinkers kind of like also be with me on this journey, even if it is more of a private experience. I get to share it with you guys in this kind of piece. So just like conceptually there's a lot of really cool sound artists in this program, and being like basically told that I can be a sound artist and that I don't have to have, I don't have to know anything or have any expertise, and I can just start making sounds was really liberating to get that part of my art practice growing. So